Wonder how close we are to the end. Probably not very, but you never know.
I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna go to the big bad stronghold, fight them, reveal the truth about the Mascherines, and either everyone will decide to chuck them out because they're like, oh yeah, we're not gonna be sacrificing people to create more Mascherines, and it's a shame that these people are in here. Or we're like, what's gonna happen? I don't know.
I want to see if I can look it up.
No, don't.
I just wanted to see the basic hours. Weirdly enough, there are none.
Quite a thing, isn't it? I wonder what she'd once been like.
She?
My Masquerine.
You're so sure it was a woman?
I like to think so.
I can only imagine how the city would react to this if they found out.
Do you think we might one day be able to communicate with them?
I don't even know if they're sentient anymore.
It's worth a try, though, isn't it?
Be my guest.
If you can hear me, give me a sign. She must be sleeping.
He seems to be taking it in stride.
Yeah, why wouldn't he? He seems like the kind of person that would.
Amadea.
Cicero. Not now. Please.
We did all we could.
I know.
I was just thinking that, what's his name, Vasco?
Yeah.
Would just be like, insta girlfriend, mask, woo! That face, why? He seemed positive it was a woman. Why are you shaking?
Ready for the sojourn, Damien?
It's so exciting. I heard they're selling the anthologies of Mayara Terrell.
Damien, we already have half of them.
But the collection has Mayara's notes.
All right. Let's go get the stories we have. Maybe we can trade them in for a better price.
Your son is close to his culture.
Sometimes too close. Forgets that we're in Ombre. The color of skin means so little here.
Homesick?
Terribly so.
What is it? Ven.
We were supposed to sail tomorrow.
Sail?
Across the belt back to Rune.
What?
Please don't take this the wrong way, but I watched you and Cyrus grow up maskless.
You don't want him to go through that.
Neither does Livia. It's why she buries him in her culture instead of the culture of the city. She doesn't want him to grow up feeling like he's worth less simply because he doesn't have a stupid mask.
It certainly kept the light in his eyes.
I can only hope it'll stay.
You should go. Tomorrow is still ahead of us. You can make it.
And let you take care of yourself. The last time I did that, you almost set my house on fire.
Then I'm serious.
Before you came back, there was little reason to stay. But now, maybe you can teach him a thing or two.
Me?
About life in the city. Ease him into its better half. Give him a mask, maybe.
A masquerine? Then, I don't think...
Forget I said anything. You have other things to worry about, I'm sure, and so do we.
Why doesn't he know what masks are?
Oh, Ven.
What do you mean, the kid?
No, I wonder if Ven knows what masks are.
Oh, you mean like the truth behind them?
Yeah, because wouldn't you have some kind of reluctance if you found out that your lucky charm was...
A dead person? Yeah.
And a dead criminal, no less.
Yeah. Oh, that's why they went and conquered everybody.
They just...
That's why they have so many masks.
They got rid of all the riffraff or the prisoners of war?
Yeah, prisoners of war. They just go and kidnap hundreds, if not thousands of people. Free masks.
Thinking of how to tell the judge, Master?
It's not every day that I'm required to be the bearer of news as world-changing as this. Mascherines and Dementacate? It's almost too much to believe.
But you do?
How can I not, with everything that's happened?
I'd imagined you to be more, Skeptical than that.
I suppose you would, wouldn't you?
'Tis your honor?
If you'll excuse me, Inspectore, I have a report to send.
Of course.
Now, my question is, how do the Fae factor into all this? I thought for sure that Fae were in the masks initially, but now it's people's spirits, so where do the Fae fit in all this?
Well, remember, they summoned Fae with blood as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if the blood of the people created Fae, and the,
But what, did the Fae take the souls of people away and put them into masks, or what happens?
No. There's two components, the body and the soul. You cut the body apart, turn that into Fae with blood, and then you turn the soul into a mask.
You're not...
Just an idea.
I just don't know how the Fae factor into this now that we find out that the souls are what goes into the masks, as opposed to... it just makes me think that his brother's soul is somewhere.
Yeah, possibly.
Because we did see it come out of his body.
Yeah, that was a...
There was a little glowy light.
Was an option. Okay. So we have a... Oh. Realized we didn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. And we have new masks. For whom?
Not him.
Yeah, not him.
Her.
Meteor Storm, yes? Technically, she had the Phoenix thing, but Meteor Storm just sounds so much cooler.
We already put that one on him.
Yeah. Okay. And let's keep going. I really do wish our new masks would show up in cutscenes. Yeah, I just wanted to look around for a second. You know.
At the troughs for the horses.
What?
A note, or the flute.
Ah, Inspectore. I was wondering who was going to pick that up.
Did you hang it here?
It? I don't even know what it is.
It's a bone whistle. I used to play with them when I was much younger, with an old friend of mine.
Can you still play? Well, that sounded pretty good.
Yes, well, we have places to go.
Ah, yes, the golden canvas. Ready when you are, sir.
So, the whistle didn't like the fact that it sat on the drawer of the desk, and then it's like, I'm gonna come out here, so he has to take me with him.
I guess so. Either that or the old friend sneaking around or something.
The old friend? But who could the old
Ready
friend
to go,
be?
sir?
Who's on the first trip?
Yourself, Amadea, Vasco, and the Marshal. We'll come back later for the Mariner and the innkeeper's family.
Let's go then.
It's exciting, isn't it, sister? I've never celebrated Seiho's sojourn before.
Just remember, almost everything there is more expensive than it needs to be. Keep your crescents for the things that you need.
Oh, I will. I've got a whole list of them I think I can find there.
Ugh.
I'm always mesmerized by things rotating. Just perfectly. It's like those silhouettes that rotate, and if you look at them hard enough, they switch directions.
Thank you for waiting, Cicero.
I just wanted to make sure you got here safe.
Don't worry. The Mariner took great care of us.
Hurry up, Ma. We haven't got all day.
Your son's right. The bazaars await.
All right, my boy. Let's go see what the peddlers are offering.
Are you going to be all right?
Calden, please. Go and enjoy the festival. Just keep an eye out for the grating while you're at it. I'll go check on the others, see if they've spotted anything.
All right, then. I've got a few things I think I might be able to find here as well.
Everybody's going shopping. Except for Cicero. Cicero
now,
don't care.
The family had said something about their culture and going back across the sea to be with people of their own, like, skin color.
Yes.
Are they, like, Asian by the
Runic.
looks of it? Runic.
So, some indeterminate other culture.
Mm-hmm.
Could be, honestly, anything. I'm glad that they don't really have too much variety. Maybe, maybe not. It's not that
What do you mean? There's tons.
Yeah,
There's
it's not the variety. It's like, I'm glad that they don't bring too much, like, racism into this.
Well, I mean, didn't he say that the one girl had red hair and that was uncommon for...
Well, yeah, because, Vasco's people are generally in the guild that she's in. And
he has dark hair.
Yeah, he has dark hair and more olive skin. And so... chances are...
Wait, but she's not purple. She's supposed to be red.
What do you mean red? What?
Amadea.
Well, her hair is red, yes, but like...
No, but she's also part of a different guild than he is.
No, but his people are more commonly in her guild. Runic.
The Opal.
The Runic people are more likely to be in the Opal guild. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I forgot that they were runic, per se.
But yeah, when I was talking about, like, I'm glad that they don't have a whole lot of variety, it's mostly just, like, it'd get really confusing if there's, like, 7 different races we've never heard of pulled from in here. That... I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of different people.
Yeah. I guess I like it in fantasy when they have,
be...
like, whole different races as opposed to just, like, slight skin color as a difference.
I'm just glad that they didn't have... the guilds completely like locked off to particular races.
Yes, that is very good. It's more kind of based on vocation. Though it does seem like the mariners are generally beefier people.
But their women were normal. I mean, look at Beneva.
Except for that one beefy woman.
No, that one beefy woman did almost look like she had a male model.
Yes.
Bristlethorn for your armor?
Someone knows a thing about polishing, I see.
Of course. Who do you think keeps my buckles shining? So, what's Favio's opinion on what's been going on?
The Judge Master's keeping an eye out. He understands that it's too early to act until more concrete trails can be found. Or at least until we know what the artifacts can do.
And when you do, he will know about them?
Oh, Inspectore. Know that your efforts at undermining my loyalty to the Luca are in vain.
I don't understand. You can clearly see what is at stake, but yet you think it's more important to keep your guild informed, even though you are fully aware that they might, in the future, jeopardize the investigation.
Do you know who my father was?
I don't know any Luca that carry the De Felici family name. No.
De Felici was my mother's family name. My father was Judge St. Rius.
I'd heard he was a great judge.
He was also a great father, who taught me everything that I know about the Luca. My earliest memory ever was of a Luca parade, staring at rows and rows of beautiful gold as he carried me in his arms. Oh, it had been a sight. A man as large as my father, tenderly holding a little girl at a Luca parade. He told me that he never heard the end of that tale from those around him, but he ensured daily that I knew he did not regret it. To him, displaying his love for me was worth more than his reputation as a strong, steeled man. But if you've heard of him before, then you'd know that his song is upon the singing tree.
It's been there for a decade.
I loved, and still love my father, Inspectore, and the Luca is his legacy. Have I helped you understand?
Yes.
Good. Now, if that is all, I believe we have an entrance to find.
Looks like you have to find everyone at their favorite shops.
Yep. I mean, it makes sense.
Tell them to get their butts moving.
Oops. Grab this before we go.
The golden canvas. Oh, flutes.
Thinking to buy one?
Buy a flute.
And nothing is worth as much as a flute crafted by the flautist's own hands. I'm here to see if I can pinch some inspiration.
Well, that one looks interesting.
Ah, that's a Cato flute, with 3 individual mouthpieces. Only Airbrands can bring out the beautiful harmonies they were meant to produce. Far too cumbersome for a traveler like me, though.
What's your type of flute, then?
That one, over there.
Simple.
It's a traditional runic flute called aniode. It was brought over with runic culture in the 4th canticle, even before the Terrals came. But of course, you don't want to hear about the 4th canticle, do you?
I don't?
Not when it pales in comparison to the 2nd, no?
Why would you say that?
Oh, it's just something I overheard once upon a time. That life in the 2nd canticle was... how should I put it? Worth dreaming of.
Where did you hear that?
You didn't have to lie to me, you know. About the artifacts being the key to creating Mascherines. It would have made no difference to me.
Who have you told?
No one. Please.
Then what are you getting at?
I've been trying to tell you, ever since I saw you with the Bleeding Beetle. But I just wasn't sure how.
What is it?
It's... how do I put this? I'm...
The Bloodless.
Yes, I am, in fact, him. But that's...
If you heard the conversation I had with Amadea, you must have returned quite early in the night. Timings don't match up if you needed to report to the Bloodless first, even less so if you were supposed to spread rumors. You have lackeys for that, don't you?
Yes, you've made good deductions, but...
I won't tell the others, as long as you promise to keep the details of the artifacts to yourself, too.
I suppose that'd be fair.
Is there anything else you wish to say?
Only that I haven't seen any sign of the grating yet.
Well, keep looking then. I'll go see what I can find. Bosco, I do appreciate the honesty.
So much for that.
So, I noticed that when he got drunk off the stuff, Vasco had said he was going to go to tell the Bloodless something or get everything going.
Yeah.
And then he comes back like a minute and 3 seconds later. Wasn't that how long he was passed out?
He was gonna go, and then he came back mid-conversation with Amadea. Yeah, the alcohol conversation was kind of separate.
No, I was saying that he was supposed to go somewhere.
I think that was just a glitch.
Whatever.
Like, that was a dialogue that would have triggered if I had waited, because we could have triggered that,
so you could have done it half hour later.
Yeah.
In game time, question mark?
Sort of. We could have triggered it after he came back and the dialogue would have been the same. So they didn't want to change it up to account for his absence.
Thinking of buying something?
This one.
Valenturia. Tales of the Second Canticle.
Lysandra used to sing it too. Must have picked it up from your brother.
Was she any good at it?
Terrible. But she was never sour about it.
You know, she did it for you.
I know. I know. What she did 5 years ago, I knew she did it to protect me. That didn't make it any easier to swallow. But now, what have I done?
It'll be all right.
Cicero, I'm so sorry. It's just... ever since leaving the Malacate, I've been scared to be a part of anything again.
It's all right. I understand. Now, chin up. We've got a grating to find, yeah?
Yes. Yes, we do. Thank you, Cicero.
You know, this actually feels like we're really close to the end, in a way.
Well, I mean, hey, you're getting your last talk with everyone,
yeah,
right?
so we've got, like, a couple left with Vasco. That's a lot of lore.
I don't believe we've missed much of anything, have we? Though gameplay we have everything for.
Yeah,
Magic,
judging
no.
by these, we're halfway
Locations.
done, give or
Wait,
take.
locations halfway?
Oof. Alright, whatever.
But they're all out of order.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. I guess there's...
I'd have to say that Cicero is one of the more likable main characters I've seen in a while.
Yeah. One thing I've always had trouble with in games is when the main character is stupid or boring or kind of just like... Like, I don't mind the, like, bruiser main character. I hate the main characters that aren't capable of anything on their own. Whereas, like, Cicero is very obviously smart, clever, decent fighter, stuff like that.
Has connections, can talk his way through things, but isn't scummy or
Whereas, like,
violent.
Recently, I tried watching Shannara with you. And
oh, well, that was the whole, like, teenagers learning about themselves deal.
But, like, I mean, take Luke Skywalker, for example.
Yeah, he was also a teenager.
He was a teenager that over the course of, you know, the trilogy,
really
learns about himself and eventually fights his own dad, who's, like, crazy murderer, robo-Jedi, whatever.
Obviously.
And, you know, he also blew up several tens of thousands of people and stuff like that.
When he became, like, the Jedi in Episode 6...
He wasn't a kid
He
anymore.
seemed stoic and...
Well, yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
Closed off. So, while I could still connect with him and, like, feel that he had really grown as a character, at the same time, he felt cold to me.
Well, yeah. And that's totally, like, admittable, and he was less relatable as such. But, like, that was a good growth of character. But for Shannara and for, like, all of these other ones, the characters may grow, but their starting point is still infuriating, from my perspective.
I dislike it when characters start from nowhere or nothing.
Yeah. Because then usually either they're always at a loss of what to do and just flying by the seat of their pants.
But I was thinking about the whole, you know, person wakes up in the future or is in cryostasis and whatever, or has amnesia. I think that while that's a frustrating plot point, technically...
It's a good way to introduce the audience to
the world. I mean, Cicero had been exiled for 5 years, so he had to relearn many things.
They did that, but he still wasn't incompetent.
Right.
Like, there's no excuse for incompetence when it's just simple lack of knowledge that the character suffers from.
Well, it also helps that he's an inspectore, so he's supposed to ask questions.
Yeah, it's true.
Nom.
It's just... Ugh. I hate a lot of things because the characters are useless.
Mm-hmm. Artwork.
I didn't know you liked carvings.
Cicero, I didn't see you there.
What have you got there?
Well, nothing.
Calden?
You have the most damnable timing.
What is it?
When I was a skipper, I used to go down to the shore and scour the beaches for these sun skulls, a type of coral.
That's a rather ominous name, isn't it? Sun skulls?
On the contrary, the midnight belt is black, but somehow these manage to retain their brilliant color. A ray of light in a sea of shadows. A source of hope in a mire of despair. I'd have carved one myself if I had the time, but since we're here...
Who's it for?
Each one of my kids has one. Jaxus did. My brother does. I get them for the people in my life that have given me hope. This one is for you.
Me?
For not turning me away, even though you easily could have.
Calden.
In this city, it is difficult to call one a friend and truly mean it. But I do. And I want you to know that.
Calden, I don't...
Please.
Thanks. Any sign of the grating?
Not yet. But I'll keep looking.
We already spotted it. Luckily, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're filling in these character bios pretty fast. It's just the locations.
The red grating.
Yep.
Ah, here we go.
This is it then?
Let's find out. 2 of you will follow me. The other 2 will stay out here in case anything goes wrong. Watch for signs.
Ooh,
I
so
think
who
I'm
are
gonna
you
bring
taking?
Kalden and Amadea.
Okay.
From a plot perspective, they seem the most relevant.
Right, because we're gonna probably encounter Nall again, and that's the brother is what
Yep.
we're looking for. Who is what we're looking? Well, who?
Yeah.
We are looking for him.
And despite the fact that Kalden is Captain Killable, I think now that we're easier, it
It's
should
like
be
there's
easier.
a whole world under here.
Light.
He-
Over there.
It's also a ton of dead mask runners.
What's wrong with them?
Stone salt.
Oh, they're on
Alex.
drugs.
It seems like it.
Contadani.
It's not uncommon for them to be seen with the dealers, but
Something on your mind?
nothing. We should keep looking around.
So they're all on stone salts.
Stone salt. Made from the crystallization of certain minerals within Ombrite. Embrite?
It's ombrite, yeah.
Well, they called it Ember. Umber.
Omber is how
Really?
they called it.
Okay. Stone salt has been a part of Ombrian culture since the 4th Canticle, but reliance on the drug only became widespread in the 7th Canticle, when the lives of the Contadani took a turn for the worse and suffering became far more widespread. Nowadays, salt users are nearly ubiquitous and can be found in any area densely populated by Contadani.
So by suffering, is it just they're depressed because they don't have masks?
Yeah.
Kind of suffering?
Yeah, it's kind of like you don't get hired in any of the major guilds if you don't have a mask because you're not as useful. You can't fight, you don't have superpowers, effectively. So instead, you're just kind of these basic working folk that everybody looks down on and abuses. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the government wasn't kind of discriminatory as well.
Did you find something?
The lady has told how the seed will save, and how the knife will take the life it gave. The shadows will come as they did before, but she will save us, so she swore.
The shadows will come. What do they mean?
And who is this lady they keep mentioning?
I don't know.
Is there anything else?
Nothing legible. Judging by the quality of the handwriting and the choice of rhyme, I'd say that whoever wrote this hadn't done it with a proper mind.
Then these are just a bunch of addicted lunatics?
Addicted lunatics do not so easily infiltrate the registry and capture one of its regenti. It seems like there is nothing else here. We should keep moving.
I wonder how they keep the rainwater out. Because it's under a grate, so presumably, like, sewer stuff gets thrown down here.
Well, if you notice there's discoloration on the ground where the water would be, it just must have not rained in days.
Super gross. Super gross. Hello.
Get behind me!
Intruders! This reminds me of, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. It's a Jedi! Get him! Or her, depending on who you are. They always announce their presence first.
Yeah, they do.
Once
You know
I was
what? Let's go for this
backtracking
guy.
through a corridor in the game and heard them, you know, going, "Oh no, it's a Jedi!" And I just instinctively slashed my 2 sabers and instantly.
I don't suppose they were expecting company.
Not the company of the colors, no.
What do you think this place is?
A salt emporium by the looks of it. It's probably one of the ways the Dactytes make a living.
And the Herald will be here?
That's what we're here to find out.
New engraving and more lore.
So you were
But yeah.
saying that there was a Sith that was just a...
2 Sith on
Sneaky.
either side of a doorway that I couldn't see, like, properly because I was going through the hall. And because they announced their presence before I even got there, my character stopped right at the entrance to the door, slashed sabers on both sides because I had 2, and it just happened to insta-kill both of them on either side of the door. They were my blind spot. I just entered the door and slashed to either side, and it was awesome. One of my fondest memories of that game. Though I had you play it, so you'd seen it.
I didn't do that, though.
No, you didn't.
Kind of just kicked ass through that game, except for the couple of times when I didn't.
And you got to be a Keldor.
Was I?
Yeah, you played a Keldor.
Totally forgot.
It's one of the few games where they actually have playable aliens.
It's been years since we played that game, so it's easy to forget.
Yeah, you got to be a Keldor.
I've put up 6,400 episodes on this channel. It's so easy to forget everything.
Didn't you say that you had a Star Wars Dungeons & Dragons character that was a Keldor?
Yep. Yeah, all of my characters tended to be Keldor because I found them to be kind of one of the more interesting races.
I just think it's interesting that, yeah, for males, the playable races were human, Keldor, and Rhodian in that game, and then females had Twi'lek, Zabrak, and human. I always played Twi'leks, though. Just because of the colors.
Salt breathers. Their leader was Izander before he'd been killed.
And now they're here?
And it seems this herald's influence is more far-reaching than I'd imagined. We should keep going.
Oh, hey.
It's a lever.
Yeah, so what was supposed to happen was we were supposed to get to the gate and be like, we need to open this up, but instead we just got attacked instead, which I guess worked.
So to the right, there's a gate.
Yep, so we just keep going.
Left, we have more lore.
Yep, and way down, which
it didn't
we're not
announce
gonna go
what
for.
lore it was.
No, it's not a lore, it's a lever.
Oh, it was a lever.
To get this gate open. To get in here for reasons.
More enemies. Oh, this is where they're distilling the stuff.
Let's see.
I don't know if you distill crystals. You probably have to like boil and then other things. Did you ever have those crystal kits when you were little?
Not really.
Like the ones that you put dye in and you grew purple ones or blue ones?
Not overwhelmingly. I never really got into that. We did some crystal growth when I was in like 2nd grade or so, but that was about it.
Do you know what we did in 2nd grade? We had a what? You can't pick up the lore, or is that just?
I'm waiting for you to talk.
Oh, we were each given a caterpillar, and we had them inside our own containers, and we raised them up until they became pupa, and then we put them in a large, I suppose it's like a terrarium thing, and you know we put all the pupas in nice spots, and eventually they all became butterflies. Though I think they might have been more like those butterflies that they oddly look like moths, but. And then we got to release them. Though at that point I didn't know which one was mine.
Yeah, happens.
I felt bad for the kids whose larvae died while they were still in their care. Aww.
I'm getting notifications from Google Plus for some reason. I have to figure out how to turn that off.
Yeah.
I just looked down and it's like, you know, whenever I get an email, I generally want to check it because it usually means another free game. But in this case, it's like, check out top list, and I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I unsubscribed from so many of the websites that I have accounts with.
Producing salt.
Sorry.
All part of surviving. Farbra and Artigiani don't run in the masked runner circles.
So they find other ways to get crescents.
Let's keep going.
Sorry.
Yeah, I find that they have newsletters and junk. And
Yeah,
I
have no
want
interest
that.
in any of them. Like, companies are always trying to shove more products down my throat, but like, I don't give a shit. I never look at them, and I'm like, just stop. Like, Google for a while has been sending me sports information for the Kansas area.
Just because I was looking at stuff on
here.
eBay, they're like, do you still want this? You were looking at it. It's like, no. I was just looking.
Who is that?
The Herald.
Her second in command is alive. You said the lady promised that the Malacarte would not live. Any of them.
The lady promised that you would have her men.
They spoke with Cicero Gavar. They know where we are. He could be on his way here right now. Tell me that that is what the lady wants.
Do not question the lady. You cannot see what the lady can, and you will never understand what she does. But she is more worthy of your trust than any other entity. Tell me that you cannot see that she has brought you higher than you've ever dreamed. You live as you've never lived before. Food, clothes, shelter. Tell me that you believe you would have those if you had not trusted the lady.
Many more of us would be alive if we hadn't.
Blasphemy! If you had not been under the lady's guiding wings, you would have been crushed by the portiere. It is because of her that you survive, that you can hide, that you can prepare yourselves for the coming dangers. Tell me that you would have known about the powers that made Mascherines, or that you would have known about the prophecies, or that you would ever have possibly stumbled upon this.
It sounds... Are you sure it's not a woman?
It probably is.
Also...
This is but one of hundreds that she has promised us. Now witness its power, and know that the lady is true.
The syntax oddly sounds like Jennifer Hale's character.
Interesting.
See what the lady has flushed out of the shadows. Do not let them leave.
Oh, do you think it's the
We
fire woman?
We
from the
haven't
very beginning?
seen Lucia in ages.
But
that person's way too tall to be her. At the same time, we haven't seen her in a long time. Or, I mean, could it be... I have a feeling that if it's not her or the, like, guy that hired us, it's definitely someone that we know of.
Cicero, the herald.
oh, it's totally someone that Cicero's gonna know, probably.
But I still think that his brother's, like, spirit has something to do with it.